Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. This is Richie, and in this video, I want to recap day number 1 of rookie minicamp. All the New York Jets draft picks were at nJets Drive today, on top of all the undrafted free agent signings and all the undrafted free agent players that Joe Douglas and the New York Jets brought in for tryouts. I just want to give you guys some of the content that we got across social media from the beat reporters that was there at rookie minicamp, on top of the New York Jets social media team providing us awesome pictures and footage of these New York Jets rookies on the field practicing together. And we also heard from all the rookies, not all of them, we heard from 4 of them to be exact. Breece Hall, Jeremy Ruckert, Michael Clemons, and Gardner. All 4 of those guys spoke to the media today. I got some breakdowns of those 4 guys, what I took away from their press conferences, and we're going to go over the 5 undrafted free agents that the New York Jets officially announced today that they signed. So I'm really excited to break down this because rookie minicamp is here. We're also going to be talking about the rookie minicamp jersey numbers, which got released today. But hey, don't you guys worry. It's all subject to change. I know some people are getting a little panicky with these rookie jersey numbers, but we're going to get into all of that in this video. I know this is a late night video here on Friday night, so if you're watching this late, I appreciate you guys tuning in. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I got a lot of new content coming your way this week, including rookie player profiles, which will be starting this week, so stay tuned for that. And of course, if you want to check me out over on Instagram and Twitter, that is at nYJets_media. And please, if you guys enjoy the video, do not forget to smash that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate you guys, and now let's jump right into the video. So first thing I want to touch on is Robert Saleh spoke to the media today, and he said that all the rookies in terms of the draft picks like Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and the entire draft class, they're not going to be doing anything crazy to start off rookie minicamp. They're just doing conditioning stuff on the side, not really working with the conditioning drill, doing stuff on the sideline with the coaching staff, not really going on the field doing intense 7-on-7 drills. They're just going in and out of their breaks. They're just doing individual stuff on the sidelines because Robert Saleh does not want to throw them right into the fire and get them into high intense OTA style practice where they have to guard each other and risk any injuries. Robert Saleh actually brought up a nightmare situation when he was down there in Jacksonville with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they drafted Dante Fowler in the top 5 in the NFL draft. I don't know if you guys remember this, but he tore his ACL day number 1 of rookie minicamp. So that scarred Robert Saleh. So he's trying to hold it back a little bit, not force these rookies to go out there and try to, risk injuries. And I'm totally okay with that, with this approach. The New York Jets have had way too many injury problems, so I am totally fine with toning it back a little bit, being precautionary, and making sure that they prioritize the health of these draft picks. The people that are playing on the field and doing intense 7-on-7s and doing intense, drills is all the undrafted free agents that are trying out to make the New York Jets team, which is going to be fun to see who eventually does make the team or not. So that's the first point I want to break down. Now let's get into some press conferences that I got. And while I talk about these press conferences, enjoy some pictures and some footage of rookie minicamp. We got all these guys. So before we get to the press conference, actually, let's talk about the jersey numbers, because I want to hear your guys' thoughts about the jersey numbers for the New York Jets when it comes to the rookies. And remember, they are subject to change. These are not going to be all the numbers for week number 1, but there will be some numbers that stay the same for sure, but not every single one. So Gardner will be wearing number 20 for rookie minicamp, Garrett Wilson 17, Jermaine Johnson 52, Breece Hall 35, Jeremy Ruckert 89, and Mitchell 61, Clemons 72. Gardner, we're going to get into it, but he did say in his press conference that he's probably not going to keep 20, but he's rocking that with rookie minicamp. If I had to guess, I think Garrett Wilson's going to keep 17 because he did post about it. He does look like he's hyped up about his number. I low-key like him in 17. You see this picture right here? I don't know. It kind of fits Garrett Wilson, number 17. I'm okay with it. I know some Jets fans want him to go single digits, but remember, there is no single digits available for these rookies to choose from. I tweeted this out earlier today, so to remind everybody, why didn't anybody get a single digit? We all want single digits. Well, this is why. I know that there's players like Tariq Black and, White could be moved on from, and maybe those guys will get those single digits numbers eventually, but that's the reason why these guys simply did not have a lot of numbers to choose from, and these are the numbers they came away with. So again, they are subject to change. Do not freak out if you feel like you want a jersey and now you don't like their jersey number. So we will see what happens there. But now let's get into Breece Hall. The Breece Hall is the first player I want to talk about. He spoke to the media today, and he had an interesting quote to start off the press conference. He got asked about if he's ever played in a running back by committee approach his entire life, in high school, in college, and he said, no, I've always been the bell cow. I've always been that 3-down running back. I've always been the workhorse. And Breece Hall actually said in his interview, he's pretty pumped up to not be the workhorse anymore. He's excited to be in a running back by committee offense like Mike LaFleur. He says, and I quote, "I'm excited for it. having a big load like that takes a toll on your body. It's going to be cool to have another counterpart. We know who he's talking about, and that's Michael Carter. I am so excited for the dynamic duo of Michael Carter and Breece Hall. I feel like you cannot have asked for a better duo to get from last year's draft class and this year's draft class with Michael Carter and Breece Hall. They just complement each other's games so well, and I cannot wait to see what they do this year and beyond. I'm pumped up. Hearing what Breece Hall had to say as well for the rest of the press conference, he just looks like a guy that is super confident in his ability. He also got asked the question if he expects himself to be playing good football immediately, because the truth is about running backs is they're kind of in their prime on their rookie contract. If you look around the league, there's not really a lot of second-year contracts that are being handed out, especially expensive ones in the running back position. They're kind of devalued right now. They also brought up that if this was like 2014 or 2013 draft, Breece Hall's a first-round pick, potentially top 10. Because remember, Saquon Barkley went second overall once. Ezekiel Elliott went fourth overall once. Leonard Fournette went top 10. Christian McCaffrey went top 10. The running back, position is just not valued that high anymore, which is why Breece Hall was a second-round pick. He almost was a first-round pick in the back end. But what I'm trying to say is Breece Hall, if you compare his numbers as a college player to all these other running backs I just mentioned that was drafted in the top 10 in the first round, if it was 8 years ago, Breece Hall is guaranteed to be drafted really high in the first round, or at least in the first round, because it's true, the running back position is devalued right now, and Joe Douglas wanted to be aggressive and burn a fifth rounder to move up and get Breece Hall, who's the best running back in this entire draft class. And if you want to compare him to other second round running backs that are very productive, are like these players. Jonathan Taylor is the first one that comes to mind, and Breece Hall also compared his game. Well, he didn't really say he compares his game to them, but he models his game after these three players, and I thought it was interesting. Alvin Kamara, Le'Veon Bell, and Arian Foster. Arian Foster is a very underrated running back, and I'm pretty happy he mentioned it. And I always saw Le'Veon Bell in Breece Hall, especially Le'Veon Bell from Michigan State, being really patient as well as being speedy and power. Like, he kind of has it all, and I can see some Alvin Kamara in his game, so I thought that was interesting. So let's get into Jeremy Ruckert. So Jeremy Ruckert had a press conference today, and as you guys know, he's one of my favorite players that the Jets drafted because he's from Long Island, New York, and his story is just awesome. I love everything about it, but he definitely brought us some interesting information during his press conference. He actually said that he played wide receiver in high school at Lindenhurst High School, and he went to Ohio State because he wanted to be developed. He wanted to, learn how to become an all-around tight end. He transitioned to tight end. He never blocked in his life in high school at all. He was just catching passes. So he went to Ohio State, and he wanted to stay in a program for 4 years where he can develop his skills to the point where there's nothing that he cannot do, where a coach is not going to be like, hey, Jeremy, we can't have you on the field because you can't do this or you can't do that. He wanted to become an all-round player, which is why he wanted to be a tight end and really work on his blocking. And he said he had to go up against Nick Bosa and Chase Young in his freshman year and sophomore year at Ohio State, and he was getting absolutely tossed around by them. So it was a good learning experience for Jeremy Ruckert. But I thought it was really interesting that he went into Ohio State with the mindset of developing himself, becoming an all-around player and an all-around tight end. And you can tell now at this level, he is all about becoming a dominant run blocker, and he showed flashes of being a really good receiver, and I'm really excited to see what he does in the future. Another thing I took away from Jeremy Ruckert is he doesn't really care about numbers. He doesn't care about stats, doesn't care about receptions or being involved in the receiving game that much. He just wants to impact winning, and that's what he always says at his press conferences. If you guys watch it, I highly recommend watching his press conference if you did not, because he really speaks well, and I'm excited to see what he can do for the New York Jets. Now, Michael Clemons, the next guy I want to talk about, he is such an interesting player in terms of his personality. He's very business oriented. He's very low key and goofy when he talks to the beat, and you can tell that he's a completely different player when he's on the field. When he's on the field, he's a violent man that screams off the edge. He looks scary, like a player that you don't want to, mess around with. And he also is built wise, like he's 6'5" with long arms. He low-key looks like an offensive tackle, but he's playing defensive end. He's a little more athletic, and he can just absolutely wreak havoc. And I'm really excited to see what Michael Clemons can do. He just looks like he has that physical body to be really good, especially in this system under Robert Saleh. And to finish off the press conference segment, let's talk about Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner actually mentioned, I briefly touched on it in the beginning of the video, that he's likely to switch from number 20. There's no significance about it. So all your Sauce fans that are like, oh no, I can't believe he's wearing number 20, he's got to change that. It's very likely he will change it eventually. Remember, Leonard Williams wore number 62 in rookie training camp, if you guys don't remember that. And then he transitioned to 92 eventually. before the season began. So hold your horses on the rookie numbers. They're not finalized. Now, another thing that I got from Sauce is that he really hit it off with Robert Saleh. If you guys don't know this already, they're both from Michigan. They're both from Detroit. They have that roots where they are from the same area. And when they first met each other during the draft process, they both smiled immediately without saying anything and just hit it off immediately. And I feel like that connection between Robert Saleh and Sauce Gardner is going to be such a big component for not only Sauce Gardner's development, but Robert Saleh's relationship with his players. And I feel like that was a big reason why Sauce Gardner was the pick. I guarantee Robert Saleh was absolutely in love with him in the draft process. He got his own version of Richard Sherman, and Saleh also kept saying that he's comparing Richard Sherman to Sauce Gardner, not in terms of Sauce Gardner becoming the Richard Sherman, but he couldn't help himself of talking about Richard Sherman while speaking the same breath as Sauce Gardner. And actually, I forgot to mention this. Go back to Jeremy Ruckert real quick. It was the same exact situation. Robert Saleh cannot speak about Jeremy Ruckert without bringing up George Kittle. Not comparing Jeremy Ruckert to George Kittle. He's very open about that. They did not want any headlines. He was simply saying that George Kittle was a player that was drafted late in the draft that was a run blocker that developed into the scheme, and that's what he's looking at with Jeremy Ruckert. Same with Sauce Gardner developing into a guy like Richard Sherman. I thought that was really interesting. Now let's get into the undrafted free agents that were officially signed today by the New York Jets. There was 5 to be exact. I made a whole video breaking them down, but these 5 were officially announced from the New York Jets today, and that's wide receiver Kishun Abram from Kent State, safety Tony Adams from Illinois, wide receiver Irvin Charles, from Indiana, PA, running back Zonovan Bam Knight, who's probably my favorite out of this class, from NC State, and linebacker DQ Thomas from Middle Tennessee State. So some players that I feel like are very likely to get a role on this team, especially making the 90-man roster and potentially making the practice squad or maybe even the 53-man roster, or DQ Thomas from Middle Tennessee State, as well as Tony Adams, the safety, because as we all know, those are the 2 positions that we do not have the most depth in. So I would not be shocked if DQ Thomas and Tony Adams, if they make their name heard in training camp, if they really want to be a guy that can show the coaching staff that they belong, as well as Zonovan Bam Knight. I have a good feeling that he could be replacing Ty Johnson. Like Bam Knight, I don't know if you guys know a lot about him, but I'm excited to break him down in future videos because he is a guy that I'm surprised went undrafted, and now that he's on the New York Jets, I would not be shocked if he goes into the season as running back number 4 behind Breece Hall, Michael Carter, and Tevin Coleman. I absolutely love Bam Knight. We moved on from Austin Walter today. I know that we still have LaMichael Pirine, but I really feel like Zonovan Bam Knight is going to move up on the depth chart ahead of Ty Johnson, ahead of LaMichael Pirine eventually. That's just a bold take. I could be completely wrong, but I'm really high on Bam Knight. So that's my thoughts of rookie minicamp, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more rookie minicamp content like this, let me know in the comments. And of course, hit that like button if you guys want to see more rookie minicamp videos as well. I appreciate all the support here in Jets Media, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Let's go Jets. Peace.